Hey everyone, it's Jade from Boho Bookworm. Welcome back to my channel. I have just brought out my slow cooker, and today while I talk to you about my January wrap-up part 3, 3 parts of January wrap-up already, I've read a lot of books this month so far, I am going to be making a slow cooker peanut butter chicken. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to chop up some garlic, and while I chop up my garlic, I'm going to talk to you about the next book that I read in January. I read All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood, and this is a book that I actually bought when I was living in Spain about 5 years ago, so it's been on my TBR pile for a very long time. I knew the basics of it. I knew that it was very taboo, about an older man and a younger, very young girl who fall in love, so it's got a bit of a Lolita or My Dark Vanessa kind of feel to it, which could make it quite uncomfortable reading for a lot of people. And the reason that I've actually decided to put this video separately to the others is because the two books I'm going to be speaking to you about today do have themes like that and topics covering pretty taboo stuff. So I wanted to let you know going into this video that that is what you're going to get here. If that makes you really uncomfortable, maybe you should just kind of not watch it. Sorry. So obviously books like All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood do cover very frowned upon topics, immoral, not to mention illegal stuff, which some just might find very offensive. So for that reason, when I went onto Goodreads to see what all my friends were saying about this book, because a lot of them have read it, I was really honestly surprised at how many people absolutely loved this book and gave it a 5-star review. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. It does have very heavy topics of paedophilia. It's a very odd story about an unlikely pair that fall in love and have this incredibly special bond. Wavy, this 8-year-old girl who is the daughter of a meth addict, and this older guy, I think, what was his name? Kellen? Was it Kellen? And Kellen is in his 20s. He's one of his Wavy's dad's thugs. He's covered in tattoos. He's an ex-con, but through everything, and Wavy's obviously had a very hard life. She doesn't eat, she doesn't speak much at all, and she just doesn't trust anyone besides Kellen. They just form a very special bond that is undeniable, and from a very young age he gives her a ring and basically promises that they're going to be together forever and that his love for her is true. And I don't know, because I loved Lolita and I loved My Dark Vanessa, I thought that I would really enjoy this book and the dark and disturbing side of it, but there was, I don't know, it just wasn't as well done, and it wasn't anywhere near as almost poetic as those other two books, which I both highly recommend to you. Sorry, I'm going to be talking to you down here so you can see me chopping up some garlic. It is a book that is told from multiple points of views, and I found that the chapters told in the courtroom were very hard to swallow, very disturbing. It felt dirty and wrong to be listening to, I listened to it on Audible, listening to this young girl describe sexual stuff that she's done with this older man out loud in a courtroom and stuff, detailing everything very specifically. I was just like, ooh, this is a bit much. Right, I'm just gonna pop my garlic into my slow cooker. Okay, time for some ginger. So, I guess overall, I just didn't find, I thought the writing in All the Ugly and Wonderful Things to be all right. It wasn't great. It just didn't really do the whole storyline justice, in my opinion, and I'm really shocked at how many of my friends loved it so much. I guess, and I know this is really wrong, and it's such a hard book to review for that reason, but I just didn't feel that deep emotional connection with the characters that I was hoping for, like I did with Lolita or My Dark Vanessa. Yeah, there was just something missing. for me with this one, unfortunately. But, you know, because I'm in the minority here apparently, most people absolutely loved it. So do give it a go, see what you think, and let me know if you have read it and what you thought about it in the comments down below. Alright, ginger in the slow cooker. I hate plastic chopping boards so much. The next book that I'm going to be talking to you about is a true crime one that Peter from Peter Likes Books read for his true crime book club in November, I think. And that is A Stolen Life by J.C. Dugard. Obviously, true crime, horrific story. Alright, I'm just going to shove some coconut milk into my slow cooker. I think I'm going to start with just like half a can and see what the consistency is like after a little while. So, A Stolen Life is J.C. Dugard's story about how she was abducted on the 10th of June 1991 from a school bus stop within sight of her home in Tahoe, California. And the book details her 18 years in captivity. No one found her for 18 years. And it's just horrific. I can't imagine what this girl must have gone through. I mean, she details it graphically and horrifically in this book. It goes through everything she endured during her time in captivity and the day that she was found to what happened afterwards and re-entering society. Okay, I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of honey and 4 tablespoons of soy sauce into my slow cooker now. So it is a really sadistic, horrible, horrific story, and it's hard to stomach as well because it is stuff that happens sexually and just horrifically to a little 11-year-old girl. You know, during her time in captivity, she was raped. She ended up having 2 children, 2 daughters, I think, from this horrible man, Philip Garrido, who abducted her with the help of his bloody wife, Nancy. I was like, how horrible can these people actually be? And, you know, imagine 18 years in that kind of environment, just how bored you would be, how just like the mind numbingness of it all, the fact that she would have to be brainwashed almost to be with just those people, because on the one hand, they are the people that stole her life, they're her worst enemies, but they're also, for 18 years, the only companions that she has. So she finds herself drawn to them, and after, you know, this guy raped her and did disgusting things to her, he would cry and she would cry and they would hug each other and stuff because they only had each other for, I mean, she only had them for 18 years. And I just think that is so bloody horrific. 3 and 4. I do think that she's just such an inspirational person, and in this book, her positive attitude and outlook on life really shines through, and I think that she's an incredible human being. I'm just putting some boiled water into a cup of vegetable broth. I really wanted to do chicken broth, but unfortunately they didn't have any in the co-op today, so improvised. I also improvised with, they didn't have rice wine vinegar, so I substituted it for some apple cider vinegar. So I need 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in this as well. So, I mean, overall, I gave A Stolen Life 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was absolutely excellent, and I highly recommend it if you're a fan of true crime. I'm just gonna pop in my vegetable broth. Show you what it looks like so far. So far, this is it. I need to put my peanut butter and my chicken in, and then it's going to start actually resembling some kind of a curry. So you can use smooth peanut butter if you want to, but I prefer crunchy peanut butter. You want to put in around half a cup of peanut butter. I don't really measure stuff all that well, so I'm just going to dunk it in and hope for the best. I mean, it can never be too peanut buttery, can it? A Stolen Life, got 5 out of 5 stars from me. I can't remember if I told you my rating for All the Ugly and Wonderful Things, but I decided to give that one just a 3 because I wasn't that enamoured by the story. And I do feel like there's other books covering very similar topics that were done a lot better. Alrighty, so they're the books I'm going to talk to you about today. So if you want to stick around and watch me make the rest of this curry, be my guest. I'm doing some lime juice now. So just going to chop that and squeeze it in. I've never done this recipe before, by the way, so I have to wait till the end for the verdict of if it's good or not, you know. But I thought, I love cooking and I don't do it often enough anymore because living alone, I just get so tired of cooking for myself, cooking for one, doing all the dishes all the time. I'm just like bored of it. I want someone to cook for. So I've got Miles coming over tonight with his dogs. So we're gonna have a nice curry, have a nice evening together. I'm gonna show him my new car that I just got and hopefully just get back onto a really good page with him and us. Fingers crossed. Who bloody knows anymore? Right, I've got some chicken breasts. So while that gets nice, it's on a low heat, so let that stay there. So slowly cook away. And I am going to chop up into chunks some chicken breast, which I'm going to just chuck right in there. Oh, something really cute happened in the co-op earlier. There was this really old man, and I don't think he recognised me, but normally he comes into the pub I work in for a nice lunch and a beer or whatever. And he was like, he just looks at me in the store, and he must be in his 90s, and he says, "What am I going to have for pudding today?" And I was like, "Trifle." I don't know him. I don't know if he likes trifle. And he was like, "Where would I find that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just over here." So he like waddled over with me, and I showed him where the trifle is, and I said, "Look, you can get the big one, or you can get 2 of the little cups, and then you've got 2." And so he picked the little ones, and he goes, "Thank you so much. That was very kind of you." And I was like, he just melts my heart. He's such a sweetie. Ugh. This is probably why, so I've got a job now, which I'm so excited about after being furloughed from the pub. But it's probably why I could never do care work, because I'll just get so emotionally attached and just want to save him and love him and snuggle him. And he's just lovely. He's such a nice little guy. Right, save that coconut milk for later in case I want some more. And also another lime for later. Oh, actually, I need to put some cilantro, coriander in there, don't I? Which looks a little bit naff. It's on a clearance for 44p in the co-op, but it'll do the job. Give it that nice coriander taste that I love. I don't understand people that don't like coriander. If you're one of those people, you're weird, man. Alright, just washing my knife because it had raw chicken on it. And wash my chopping board as well. I think that's a nice thing about slow cooking, is that it just gives you time to relax. The smell infuses the house. You can do your dishes. Everything's just it's so easy, quick. And then the slow cooker does all the work for you after the prep. And because Miles is not a fan of chilli, I'm going to go easy on him tonight, and I'm going to put in just a few chilli flakes, but you know what? He just needs to get used to it. I'm sure if I give him enough chilli, then he'll finally get a palate for it. So this is what I use. Oh, it's almost finished actually. No! My chilli explosion. So shall we pop some in? Can you see? Had to remind myself to be nice to him. There we go. And then later, I've got some coconut, chili and lemongrass rice that we'll have with it. some more lime. Right, let's chop up some coriander, shall we? And just for some light lunch, I've got an egg cress sandwich. Doesn't really smell very coriandery. So I'm going to chop some up now to put into the sauce to infuse it, and then I'm going to also chop some up later to garnish the curry, because that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, I don't like it when it's not so fresh. It doesn't have that like yummy coriander smell that just like, whoa. Okay, so this is everything together. It's my big lump of peanut butter. Wait, it'll all melt though. Don't panic about it. So it has been 3 hours and I actually put in some turmeric and some chickpeas as well. So that's on the go. Hey everyone, it's a couple of days later and I'm just busy editing this video and realised that I didn't actually show you the final product, but it was really, really good. Even Miles loved it. So yeah, really happy about that, and recommend this recipe to you. Anyway, sorry that you didn't get to see the final product. I will try and remember to do that more in the future with my cooking videos. Anyway, I am about to go for a very long walk in the pissing rain for hours. Awesome. It's freezing, but it's Saturday, just finished like a week of work, and I just need to be outside because now I have like an office job. It's like just, you know, 8 hours a day in front of a screen. Not that I wasn't doing that before anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some fresh air and being outside. But anyway, I hope you're all well and I will talk to you soon. Bye.